And bam, we're live. Ooh, we'll see how many people we get in here tonight. Little bit of a different vibe for everybody watching it back. We'll see how much we can get going here. Wednesday night, normal recording schedule. Looking ahead to the Super Bowl 10. Let's see, we got to do this more often. We do this for the for the Patreon middle of the day sometimes. Me and G-Bone, we hit the taglines and there's like we get like a max of 7 viewers. We're already at 38. Welcome in. Join the chat if you want. Check out the Join the Army QR code, as well as I'll flash these during the live show tonight. The Walk-On store as well. Plenty of cool stuff to buy. What else can I do on here? A Goat Wallace t-shirt. Look at that stuff. Everybody, thanks for joining. Tonight's going to be a different vibe for the Walk-Ons. 50 people already in here. Just go nuts. No G-Bone. I'm expecting Kevin, but who knows? Damn to damn again this year. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Focusing on other competitions, CrossFit stuff. Running, your boy wasn't built to run. Keegan says, saw a pic of you in the 2017 class. Tree trunks took up half the frame. It's true. It's facts. It's a big old legs. I was fat then too. That was a different Tyler Kluwer. It's a very different Tyler Kluwer, and more mentally than physically. So obviously I've ripped this on the YouTube, the Facebook, and the X. We'll see how many people join. Again, like I said, different vibe. We're going to let people come in here. I want to give Kevin a couple minutes. He knows that we record at this time. We've done almost 600 episodes of this show at this same time for the last 6 years. I still don't know if Kevin is going to join the show every single Sunday and Wednesday night. That being said, if he doesn't join the show, I want this to be how this goes, right? Not going to be a normal episode. It's going to be an interactive thing, and it's going to be a little hangout. It's a Wednesday night, 6:30 p.m. Everybody's available. Impetus says, "What are we doing?" Is that supposed to be in KF voice, or are we just confused at why I'm on here? What are we doing? Okay, run it again. I don't know why sometimes it gets a little bit high and like scratchy, like he's sick or something. The KF voice is something that never will be perfected. So, Glenn, what up? Everybody joining in the chat. Again, like I said, for everybody that's in here, low expectations for this. This is very casual. It could just be me. I'm hoping Kevin joins in here. If Kevin does join in, I have a little topic that I want to go over. Otherwise, it's just me and you guys. I'm not going to be in town this weekend. So this would normally go, we try to stay one ahead in the off season. So everybody that is going to listen to tomorrow's episode, that episode is already up and live for those on the Patreon. If you're really interested in getting that 12 hours early, you can join the Army with that QR code in the corner. If not, wait till tomorrow morning. That'll be loaded in. Great episode. Drake is on that episode. Drake is still in our text message for when we schedule, like, hey, we're hopping on. So every once in a while, the guy just surprises us. So you get Drake Kulik tomorrow if you're interested. Gary, good question, Courtney. Where is Gary? And that's something that we have to answer here as time goes on too, because Gary is now an adult. He's a real human being with a real job. So Gary has work obligations that further outweigh the walk-ons. The paychecks that he receives from these two entities, much different, much more consistent on the other side. So he's got that. So if Kevin joins, like I said, I have a fun little exercise for us to do, throw an episode together. If not, we'll save that for another time. Otherwise, we'll just chat. We'll hang out for, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes. I don't know what I feel like when I was born, like when my parents were my age, it was about this time, 6:30 at night. You sat down at the dinner table, you flipped on cable. Maybe you ate in the living room. You had a little like little TV stand for your meal. And that's what you did as like a young family back then. Now it's just like streaming and the kids have a tablet. I don't know what you guys are doing right now. Are you just on your couch scrolling through TikTok. I have no idea. What I do know is, when are we going to start doing jujitsu? See, this is the kind of stuff that happens on a live show. We just get these random. And for those listening on the way back, by the way, because I'll probably upload this on the Monday after the Super Bowl. Again, I'm gone this weekend at a CrossFit competition in South Carolina. And we probably wouldn't record during the Super Bowl anyway, because it's the one thing a year that everybody's going to watch. So we're going to just upload this on Monday for people to listen back to. I'm not going to do jujitsu, at least for right now. Drake, obviously, very, very highly skilled in that. And Kevin messed around with it for a while until he hurt himself. Tore his bicep tendon right off the bone. Just got way too competitive way too soon. Here's what I want to start with tonight, assuming that Kevin's not going to jump in here. We got this kid named Bo Bassett. Is that his name? The wrestler? I need help. My Twitter feed is, all it is right now is like Mat Scouts and all these wrestling accounts. I'm getting like back and forths from the Penn State and the Oklahoma State fan bases. We got the number one recruit in what class? Is he 26, 27? He's a little guy. People are saying he's like, is this the next Spencer Lee? I've seen several accounts tweet that. Somebody tell me about him in the chat. I need to know. What do we know about this kid? And more importantly, the NIL thing is this huge thing. Class of 26. Okay, so he's a junior right now. He's going to be a senior this fall. Speaking of, by the way, that Harping girl that was there this past Sunday. How unbelievable was that? We pull off an upset against Juju Watkins with the number one recruit, and she just gets to, oh, by the way, here, hang out with Caitlin Clark. That's got to be a lock. We can do no more. If Jan Jensen and the Iowa basketball women miss out on that Harping girl, then she was never coming. There's nothing you could do. That's as much as you could do. Upset number 4 USC in Carver, stacked. Back to what I was saying. NIL, huge thing right now. Obviously, the swarm in our ecosystem of the Iowa Hawkeyes deals with the 2 basketball teams and the football team. Who is this person that is giving all the money to the wrestling team? Who is this one person? Because I keep seeing other people talking shit about the Iowa wrestling team and how we're buying players and how our NIL is just ridiculous. Like, from what I can tell, we're the Alabama, we're the Oregon of wrestling NIL money. And we just have this one guy who is just willing to give millions of dollars for recruits. Is this true? Somebody tell me that it's true or not true. Who knows more than me? I need help. I have 430 of you in here. Somebody has to know more about this than me. Because it blows my mind, the reported number that this Bo Bassett kid is getting like $1 million a year for the next 4 years or 5 years. That can't be true. Can it? It cannot be true. Bo Bassett just committed Iowa. Would make a great washed up wrestlers podcast. Wrestling podcast would be good. I just don't know shit about it, as you can tell. All I see, this Bo Bassett kid, the highlight videos that I'm seeing of him, it looks like it's not that high. Okay. I mean, the numbers being thrown around on social media, which obviously I understand, always get inflated. They get inflated with the football stuff too. But it's just like, are we really? We have some donor that is specifically interested in our wrestling program that is willing to give us that much money, or specifically the Brands brothers and that program that much money. Good for us / good for them. I want wrestling to be on top. We got robbed of back-to-back national championships around that COVID time. I think 2020 it was canceled, and then we won it in 21. Is that how it went? Penn State, obviously. Whoa, focus. Penn State is obviously just, I don't know what Sanderson's feeding him over there. I don't know how they're doing it. He was obviously a legend in his own right. He knows what he's doing. They're kicking ass over there in Happy Valley. They're kicking ass. It's not even close. I don't watch all the I don't watch the duels, but from what I can tell, it's Penn State. They're the national champions this year. It's a race for second, and we've got a pretty good shot at being second. Keeter, by the way, what's up with Keeter? I thought he was like an international stud, like going to be unbelievable, and he's not even top 10. Can someone tell me what's up with that? This is literally just me hopping on live, getting all 500 of you watching to be like, tell me, update me on the stuff that I don't know about, because I live in a bubble. Matt says, was it all from Swarm or did Hawkeye Wrestling Club contribute? I I don't know if it was either. I don't know if it was either of those. From what I've heard, Hawkeye. Well, maybe this guy contributes to the Hawkeye Wrestling Club, and that's how they figure it out through there. I don't know how the money funnels. I don't to wrestle heavyweight. Keeter's our heavyweight, right? Isn't he our is he our heavyweight? So is that why he's not as high as he has to gain weight? He's got to get the body right first. I don't know. I want the wrestling program to be number one. If we had to pay this Bo Bassett kid $500 million to do that, and we have that, good for us. Good for us. Because now we know how it feels to be the Oregon, the Ohio State, $20 million roster, right? That's what we want. If we could pay that Harping girl $20 million, we'll pay her 22. I don't care. It's not our money. Nobody in this chat's the one forking up the $500, $750 million a year. God, that game was so big. He's 197. He's not a heavyweight. Wow, Keeter's wrestling 197, so the kid got small? He's just having to deal with crazy weight cuts, or he just got small? Because I'm pretty sure he was like 240. I know that he stepped away for football for this year. Really good, but he needs to put on 30 or 40 pounds. So I'm confused then, because was he not at 230, at 240 when he quit football? Could we not have just stayed where we were? Or is our heavyweight, did he establish that spot, and so Keeter to wrestle had to come down to 197? There's 572 people in here. Somebody has to know that answer. I don't know. Noah says, I don't know much about wrestling, but I think it takes more than one great wrestler to win a natty. That's absolutely true. But dudes recruit. We need a t-shirt. Dudes recruit dudes. I don't know who originally said that, but it's a true thing. Could have been LeVar or Seth this past summer. We're going to need more than one. But don't we have we're second in the country. Don't we have like a pretty insane roster right now? Oh, he is wrestling heavyweight. Okay. All right. I mean, the kid's potential was like off the charts. Everybody was saying like, didn't he go and win like the U19 Worlds or something? I don't know shit about shit. So, I just saw this stuff about the Bo Bassett NIL, and I was like, what is going on? And where if we got some random dude who just loves the wrestling program, does he have a little extra change for the football guys? Now with the rev share, this gets so interesting, and this is why Tyler Barnes and Beth have insane jobs in today's world. AD for a Division I college football program, already nuts. Already nuts. Tyler Barnes, his job before his new title and set of responsibilities for what he's currently doing, already a nuts job. Ultra important, lots riding on it. You have to lead a very significant part of a program. If you're the AD, you're leading the university in its athletic endeavors, and that's unbelievable. You just never sleep. But with the NIL stuff and this rev share, oh my God, the decisions that they now have to make. So what if we have now think of it this way. What if we now have this rich dude, supposedly, who just pays money to our wrestling program through the Hawkeye Wrestling Club or however it gets done. And like Beth and them decide, well, you guys are getting a shitload from this guy. You guys don't get any of the rev share then. And you have to manage those relationships with the coaches. So now the coaches are like, well, we now get no rev share. Hope that this one donor doesn't get pissed and just cut off donations. What a crazy world. Like, you could just end a program. Be interesting to know what the wrestling program brings in. Are we talking about NIL wise? It would be interesting because I'm hearing it's a lot, like just as much as football. PSU has our number. Yeah, do they have everybody's number though? I don't think it's just an Iowa thing. Like, they haven't lost all year, have they? I don't think they've lost a duel. It doesn't look like they're going to. I don't know who would beat them. Keeter versus Gable Steveson. I don't know if even that's a fair comparison. Is Gable Steveson not like? Isn't he the GOAT? Is he like absolutely far and away the GOAT? Probably not a fair comparison. And is he wrestling again, or is he out of years? I love how this has just turned into a wrestling podcast of me being a dumbass. This is great. We should do this more often. People just on Twitter like, Kluver's a fucking idiot. It's great. It's good stuff. Football wise, these guys are in the thick of it. It's February for everybody else. I think January drags on for everybody. There's those funny memes on like Twitter where in time, the way that time feels, like the reality of it is like January takes 10 months and then all of a sudden you're like into summer and then it's football season and the year's over. And it just feels like January goes forever. I feel like that extends into February a little bit. And let me tell you, it absolutely does for the guys in the football program. Normally, we'll talk about this. We'll bring it up every once in a while. But if we do our job and we get guests on, and the reason we don't have a guest on tonight is because literally the 3 or 4 guests that I got to for this evening all said, let me get back to you. Next week will work. So next week could be crazy. We could be recording with like 4 people in a row next week, and we'll just pump those out on our schedule. But what was I talking about? Oh, the football guys, their legs hurt right now. Their arms hurt, their shoulders hurt, their backs hurt. Everything hurts. Everything. And a lot of the freshmen are like walking to the football facility. They're just like they're just making that walk, or like you hope the moped starts. It is quite literally, this is like gut check time for the Iowa football program, especially if you're one of the young guys. You live in the dorm, you figured out freshman season, you kind of got it. You're back for the spring semester. Okay, no season. A little bit of a workload off there. You're starting to figure out school a little bit. You know your way around campus. It's just absolute grind time, especially for those guys. Every guy nowadays is like, I'm playing right away. Okay, so you either did or didn't play your freshman season, and you now know exactly where you are in the depth chart, or who's in front of you, who you're competing with, and you are busting your ass to just put like 50, 100 pounds on all your lifts. Most guys are trying to add 10, 15, 20 pounds of muscle. The young linemen are either trying to lose body fat, depending on what composition they came in at, or they're like a young guy that was a little light. They need to develop that body. They're 30 to 60 to 80 pounds away. And they're just eating. Half of their job right now is to eat. Look at Listy. What is this? This is the Washed Up Walkons, Caleb. Welcome. I can see in your profile picture you're wearing one of our hats, so you're at least somewhat familiar with our brand. This is a Washed Up Walk-Ons Hangout. This is the episode for Monday. So for whoever doesn't listen tonight, I'll just repost this on Monday. The Super Bowl is over at this point. I'm guessing the Chiefs won. The refs found a way. For anybody like half paying attention, I'm talking about how this will be re-uploaded. I really hope that the Eagles won. Did anybody see the custom Rolex that Cooper got? Anybody see the absurd? Let me pull that up. Caleb, this is everybody say hi to Listy, by the way, in the chat if you've got the opportunity to. Lister, probably a top, not probably, top 5 in the walk-on army. And he's questioning, what is this show? That's why he's asking the question. He's like, I've been around here for a long time. I know that they don't do this. This is completely different. On the nights where we don't get a guest and, well, evidently Kevin just doesn't show up. Oh, here we go. Message from Kevin. Hey, sorry, no, still in the OR tonight. Is he lying? Is he a liar? Hung out to dry. Hung out to dry. And this is why we could be so much bigger. This brand, this podcast, this show, we could probably be twice the size if Kevin just quit his job. If Drake would have, and Kevin and Drake were ever active on social media over the past 6 years to help promote our show, it would have been so much bigger. But instead, you have to hear from me 100% of the time, and then I start to sound like a singular voice that is like, oh, this is the only guy that we ever hear from. And that gets to be fucking annoying. And let me tell you, it's annoying for me too. Which is why we brought G-Bone in. It levels everything out. Creek Beaver in the house. Jake Olson. Got some of the OGs in here. Courtney's one of them too. Some of the best of the walk-on army. You can see that QR code up in the middle, not the middle, the corner of the screen. Scan the QR code, or do we have one of the fun? Yeah, there we go. There it goes, right in the middle. Grant told me explicitly not to edit Drake's face out of this picture in any of the times that I use it. He doesn't want, he will not stand for any Drake erasure from the brand. But little does he know that on the Patreon, if we go to our Patreon page, oh, that's not what we want. I've already done it. Grant's already been inserted into the brand. Let me share screen. Can everybody see this? Look at the Photoshop job on that. How about that, huh? Now, if you didn't know, is Grant's head probably just a little too big because I had to cover up Drake's long hair in this picture? Yes. But if I would have taken a little bit more time, what do you guys think about that? That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Lister, Caleb Lister, you got people who will advertise for you willingly. Are you talking about you? You advertise? Yeah. Wearing our hat? Yeah, you're the GOAT. Speaking of advertisers, you can kind of see it on our overlay here, presented by Eagle Point Solar, bringing you the sun. Made a fun point last episode that we hope the sun doesn't turn off. That would be tough. Tough for Eagle Point. I don't think the sun's going to turn off at any point in the meantime, or in the soon near future. Eagle Point is brought to you right out of Iowa. Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, and Des Moines locations. Let me bring up their chart of every place that they've installed some of their solar modules. Modules, not panels. At least that's what they call it. Oh, by the way, these modules have like a 30-year warranty. That's how well they work and they trust in them. Somebody asked on the last YouTube, how do they handle large hailstorms? I was told you can stand and jump on these, and they will stay pretty sturdy and intact. There is a chance in a large hailstorm they could get damaged. 30-year warranty, they will replace it for you. You're making the investment up front on this thing, and then it is saving you money for the rest of its lifetime. Now, yes, is this like throwing money into it's not the exact same as like an investment account, but in the end, are you looking to go green on this thing? Once you cross the threshold of the amount of money you would have spent, or the amount of money you did spend on installing solar onto your home, once you cross that in savings, you're in the green, baby. You're in the green. And your energy bill is literally just a connection fee every single month. It's like $12, $14 to be connected to the company. If you by the way, you have the option to get a battery where you can just store all of this sun deliciousness. And you also have the ability through this solar connection. I learned all of this, by the way. It's the most important, like dedicated I've been to listening to somebody teach me something in a while. The energy company can actually use the energy from your panels to help power other people's houses. And you can get a credit for that on the really sunny days to where then on the days where it's not as sunny and your panels don't fully take in the amount of sun they need to power your house, your energy bill is going to be a little bit higher in that instance. It might go up to 20 or $30 a month. If you have your credit, it takes care of that. You're good. It's called net metering. Okay? And I am a wizard at solar education. Speaking of education, it's all that Eagle Point wants to do for you. They just want to get you in the door. Once you hear their pitch, of course, they're trying to sell you something. Once you hear their pitch, it's quite literally just a money decision. That's it. Because it makes sense from every other point of view. Anyway, Eagle Point Solar, shout out to them for being a sponsor of the show for this month, April, later this year. Good times. What do we got going? Is there any good football news recently? How about Nebraska not doing a spring game because they're scared that they're going to get their players poached? Is that what I read correctly? Let me find that. Nebraska, no spring football game. Say goodbye to the college football spring game. This is CBS Sports. Is that a picture of Searles? No. A year ago, Lane Kiffin turned spring football into a spectacle of hot dog contests, golf cart races, and tug of war championships, embracing chaos and fun over any meaningful football. Blah, 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 blah. Nebraska's Matt Rule has all but confirmed his program will ditch its traditional spring game in favor of a closed format, citing the very same concerns that Kiffin anticipated. Other programs are now quietly mulling similar moves as coaches weigh whether publicly showcasing their rosters is worth the risk of losing players. So here's the deal with that. Here's the first thing that jumps to my mind is, and I saw it a lot with my teammates. I've seen it a lot with other schools, guys who just post it to Twitter. These guys have film. Now, I suppose you could make the argument that other schools are just blatantly coming from nowhere. They approach a guy who's not even, there's no reason for him to be in the portal. There's no interest seemingly on his side from the player's point perspective. And they're just like, yo, we want you. I'm sure there is that. Most of the time, those guys are going to have interest on both sides. Right. And the players who are interested or like, the film that you want to get on these guys, they can get it. They're going to get it. They will find a way. There's more Connor Stallions out there, okay? There's moles inside the programs that are going to leak information. They're going to pay somebody to like, hey, send me practice film from, the first 6 practices of spring ball. Someone's getting that, dude. And is that really what's going to like is the spring game, is that the film that's really going to be the kicker on what on LSU or Alabama say, you know what? Yep. Seals the deal. We want that guy. The spring game or the spring practices? Come on. I should mention, don't want to just wear out the one QR code. There's the Walk-On store right there as well. Scan that bad boy. Get yourself a Great D tri-blend t-shirt. Hawks by Million flag. We got some shirts on sale in there that are the old 50/50 cotton. We're trying to move everything to the tri-blend. So any shirt that's not a tri-blend should be on sale on there. Anyway, it's funny to me. Who is stealing Nebraska's players, by the way? They just made a bowl game. Can 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 we name one Nebraska player, one Cornhusker in the last 5 years that's been poached? And, like, Nebraska was super upset because they got the short end of the stick in this whole portal deal? Seriously. Maybe there is a couple. Was that, did Trey Palmer finish his career as a Cornhusker? Like, was the year that we got torched, did that Palmer kid, he finished as a Husker, right? So he didn't get poached. What other Huskers have even gone anywhere else and and made a splash? I guess Luke McCaffrey started at Nebraska. Um, and now he's like a wide receiver. Is he in the league? Did he somehow make a roster? Let me find that. I hope this is work. It's obviously working because there's almost 1,000 people in here, which is a little bit crazy to me. Oh yeah, there we go. It says there's only 2 people on the Facebook. That is shockingly low. Um, a lot of people on the Twitter though. That's good. Again, for anybody that jumped in halfway through, this is just a casual hangout tonight. Maybe we do more of these. G Bone has definitely expressed interest that we should do more of these, and I agree. And I know for a fact it would be 10 times better if it was me and G Bone having a conversation, or me and Kevin having a conversation, which was the plan thing tonight. I don't know who suggested this. Martinez did finish at K State, but I don't think that was Martinez might be a good example, Lister. That might actually be a good example. The Coach Gary live streams, dude. Great question, Luke. NCAA came out for the first time in 10 years last summer, and Gary, G-Bone was all excited about hey, we're going to get a dynasty going every Friday night. We're going to stream Coach Gary playing like 1 or 2 dynasty games. I don't know. I know that he's been out of school now since last May, so he was still in the process of he lived in Chicago and then he went back to Colorado. I don't know if he ever got set up in a place where he felt comfortable doing it consistently. I would just tell him to do it. But would that not be the best? Like the Coach Gary live stream every Friday night or every Saturday where you can just sit down and watch Gary play NCAA football? It sounds like a good time to me. I think he would be hilarious. He would be way better solo on a mic than I would be. So, I don't know. Matt says, I think he is playing wide receiver in the league. I'm pretty sure he is too. My idea, by the way, I was going to say, I'm not sure who suggested this. Thank you for the suggestion, though. We take suggestions for episode topics all the time. And so this one was literally going to see fruition, except Kevin didn't show up, was someone tasked us with the challenge to create a starting lineup of Iowa Hawkeyes from only the years we played, 2013 through 2017. And so I was going to run that. I was going to surprise Kevin with that topic, and we were just going to talk that out tonight. And that was going to be really fun. I was going to do the way I have it here set up is we were going to run with 1 punter, kicker, holder, long snapper. I know, hilarious that I added holder. I wasn't going to forget. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, a fullback, 2 tight ends, 1 at each offensive line position, and then 3 wide receivers. 2 DNs, 2 D tackles, 3 linebackers, 2 cornerbacks, 2 safeties, and a cash. And we were going to try and build a starting roster from 2013 to 2017 Hawkeyes. And that was going to be a fun exercise, and it still will be. Great suggestion. I agree, Lister. Great suggestion. I forget who sent us to that. I don't know if they hit the email or the Instagram DM. They're like, hey, if you don't have a guest, you need an off-season topic, this would be a fun one. I thought so too. But nobody here to do it, and I'm not going to do it alone. I obviously have my picks. Fan episodes. So again, you're right. I can definitely bring the fans on. I would actually a Twisty and Creek Beaver After Dark episode with just me or Gary. I think that would be great. we've done some fan episodes in the past, and while they were received really well, and I very much so enjoy doing them, there's other people, and it was a much larger contingent, and I'm not gonna say that I cave to the mob, but I do like to I like to do what people like. That's how a brand grows generally, and, like, a show retains listeners. And one of the I can't remember which, one of the fan episodes we did, people were like, "Why are you wasting time bringing on fans? Like, I wanna hear from other players. I don't wanna hear, like." So I kinda got, like, it was an off-putting sort of response from one of them, and then I kinda shelved that idea. I would like to bring it back if we can just throw those in on a non-traditional, like, Monday and Thursday is still our normal episodes, but we could bring on, Twisty and Creek Beaver. Great names, by the way. Nothing good happens after dark. We need JoJo on here as well. Yeah, we probably need JoJo for balance. Gender and maturity balance. Be good to get a female on here. And there's just not many in the army. There's a couple. They're hardcore. There's a couple. But yeah, CJ, come back to this. Hold on a second. Lister says, I'm watching Michael Jordan's son get arrested. What did Michael Jordan's son do? That's a little nutty, right? Do I have any plans to make it to a football game next year? Funny you say that. Funny you say that. Let me, I'm actually probably not going to be able to find the email. A couple days ago, and when I say we, I mean the 2015 football team, anybody who was a part of that, got the first email. Hey, Courtney, chill on the age. I'm 30. JoJo's like what, 23 or 24? I'm young. I'm a part of the young class here. The 2015 football team got our first email notification that we will be honored in Kinnick this fall. I can't remember. Was it for the Oregon game? We play Oregon at home, right? I believe the Oregon game, and I really hope I'm not breaking. Oh, hey.
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 Oh, sorry, dude. I forgot that Grant was also.
Oh, no, you're good, dude. I've been going for 37 minutes live by myself.
How do you just talk to yourself for that long?
I'm using the chat.
Oh, okay. You got some chat.
You want to take a guess at how many people are watching this right now?
Are we live?
Yeah.
Are we live streaming?
On YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Guess how many people are in here?
Total?
Yeah.
12.
1,028.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what it's telling me, at least. Why? I have no idea. They must be really bored on a Wednesday night. But yeah, I've just been talking about whatever. Like first of all, I was talking about wrestling and this Bo Bassett kid and how supposedly our wrestling NIL program is just like unbelievable, or we have some rich donor that like just hands out money, just fun coupons.
I mean, the rumor out there is $5 million.
That's what I said. People in the chat were like, "No, that's not how much." I'm like, "That's what they're saying."
Bro, even if that's off by a multitude of 10, that's like still insane for a college wrestler.
$500,000 to a college wrestler is insane. Yeah. It's insane. How was work today?
Long, but hey, we fixed up the good people of Iowa City, so
that's good.
Yeah, rewarding.
We're 38 minutes in, so I won't do it now because I think it deserves it. It deserves itself a full episode. But somebody had a fun idea, and this is what we're going to do tonight. If you were here for the full thing, was for you and I to talk out and create our starting roster for only the time that we were there.
So anybody who played from 2013 to 2017
through the 2017 year, yeah.
So, question: would that for the 2017 year, do we get the players at their prime? So, like,
yes,
do we get 2019 Tristan Wirfs versus 2017?
I believe we do. I believe we do.
All right.
Yeah, and Tristan certainly makes the list.
Without a doubt. Dude, that offensive line would be insane.
Nutty. The worst player on the line would be like...
Might be Austin Blythe.
I was going to say, yeah, and that's if you
actually,
use James.
Dude, does he even make it? Because you got James.
Well, that's it. You could use James at guard.
Yeah, true.
So we're going to do that on another episode, but yeah, I've just been chatting, 39 minutes. I was quite literally about to be like, yeah, we'll run this to 45 minutes and then I'll hop off. but we can extend it a little bit. Lister, very excited here. This is him reacting to Kevin joining. This was in college whenever we were out and we walked in somewhere and Kevin and Bo and Josie walked in, all the females would just go, ah!
I think they were doing that to Bo, but
probably Bo.
Yeah, and it's probably like more of a frightened than a.
They were scared for their. Yeah, they
exactly.
Yeah, they were worried for their safety. Probably shouldn't put that out there in front of 1,000 people, but hey, who cares? Bassett himself said the rumors weren't accurate and added, "This isn't football. Wrestling has a long way to go." He might be downplaying that. You never know.
Yeah, don't let people know what you're walking around with.
Could you imagine? Dude, $1 million at 18 years old, bro. What's the first thing? What's like the first dumb thing 18-year-old Kevin buys when you get like a multi-$100,000 deposit to your checking account?
I don't even know, dude. At 18,
we could have bought so much chicken breast, dude.
Maybe I just buy a Ponchero, start a franchise. I don't know.
Wow, you would just franchise, yeah.
Yeah.
Just immediately become an entrepreneur.
Just for the fact that I could get myself free burritos, and then eventually there would be a break-even point where the investment pays off. The lack of paying for burritos, probably 10 years down the line or so.
Sure. Yeah, well, with 2 is a meal for sure.
Well, I mean, when you're eating 2 a day, yeah, it adds up pretty quick.
Dude, your toilet would be hurting. By the way, your quote from the other night, somebody already mentioned it in the chat tonight, says, "When are we going to get a happiness is overrated t-shirt?" Which I agree.
It's a good quote.
That could be, we've done this for a long time, and I think of all the Kevin quotes, and there's a lot of really good ones. Maybe the best being, KF doesn't need Iowa. Iowa needs KF. That's all time. Episode number 63, I believe.
That's a long time ago, that poll. Yeah.
Was it kind of funny to see people come back around the last couple of years on Nate Stanley and be like, man, we actually didn't know what we had there. And then it was just like us sitting in the corner of the meme being like, tried to tell you.
Guy was pretty good college quarterback.
We were, we got really heated over the people who were shitting on Stanley. Like, we got heated.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I do think Iowa fans have come to respect what Nate Stanley did for the program a lot more. But
I would hope.
At the same time, I think people are also starting to get an idea of how hard it is to play college quarterback, because at the same time, there's a lot of people who are like tearing down some of the best college quarterbacks in the country. Like, he sucks, he's trash, and yeah, these guys are going to be top 10 draft picks. Like,
yeah. Do you think we played any part in like a significant amount of people's opinions shifting with as much as we've been like, hey, look at it from this perspective? We've got a lot of messages over the years with people are like, I watch football now differently after listening to you guys. And I'm like, dude, that is awesome. That's all we care about.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Do I think we had much of an impact in changing the perspective of Nate Stanley in particular? Probably not. I'm going to say Deacon Hill probably had a lot more to do that than we did.
My guy Deacon, man. Sneaking Deacon.
Yeah, just, that was a tough year.
How did we get there? A lot of things had to happen.
A lot of things went wrong.
The dude was a competitor. Stanley was? Yeah. Dude, the thing I miss most about Stanley is the fact that we had Linder.
Can I pull up this chat anywhere or no?
I don't think you can pull it up. I'd have to give you the login. Dude, we would sneak it at will. It didn't matter.
Oh, my favorite. The
3 in a row.
Holiday Bowl from the 9-yard line.
3 in a row. Maybe one of the biggest middle fingers of play calling ever.
Yeah. Arguably the greatest sequence that Brian Ferentz ever called in his career.
Well, it was either that or some amount of plays. Pick any offensive sequence from the 2017 OSU game. Yeah.
Yeah. That was, I mean, Dude, he honestly had a pretty decent first year, considering he had a first-year quarterback. Like, we were really young on offense that year too, but
Yeah,
like,
we were.
we had some dudes, but they were young. Like Noah was young, TJ was young, Amir was young. I don't know if Brandon Smith was playing much yet.
I don't quite remember. I think he played a little bit.
Yeah.
Layman here on Facebook. You can see him when I add him to the screen. Craig asks, reasonable expectation for Gronowski / passing game next year, 2,500 yards and 18 touchdowns. Let's slow down there.
I'd cool it on the 2,500 yards. How many do we have this year as a team?
Let's do some math.
Half that?
Let's just do some math quick. Okay. If you play 13 games and you throw for 200 a game, which is like respectable, I would say, for the Iowa offense, that's 2,600. Averaging 200 a game. What did let's pull up.
We didn't hit that as a team this year, no doubt.
There's no way we could have, right? I mean, we had, I don't even know how.
I'd be surprised if we threw for more than 200 yards in like 3 games all season.
In any game at all?
Yeah.
2,500 is a lot to ask. Never do the math out loud on air. You're right. I could shout out Jake. This is really good advice.
That's great advice.
And it could get I could expose myself that I never went past pre-calculus very quickly. Or you could just hear that I never went past pre-calculus.
So we had 1,700 total passing yards.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. McNamara had just over 1,000. Sully had 475, and Stratton, baby, 219 for a total of 1,711 combined. 62% completion percentage. We were, 260 attempts. Dude, if we're being honest, how many touchdowns did we throw? 10?
10.
So looking at those numbers, I would say if we could get to 2,015.
So here's the other thing, though, is like we might have to throw the ball a little bit more that we don't have Caleb Johnson.
We're not going to have that guy. That's a big difference.
So, maybe that's realistic. I don't know.
We got to have receivers.
Honestly, you know what? We might have to hit those kind of numbers
if we want to compete, and
just because we don't have Heisman caliber running back.
Sure, but we didn't know that we were going to have him coming into this year either. So who knows? What if Moulton and Patterson are a 1-2 punch that are like pretty damn good?
I'm sure they'll be fine, but not optimistic that they're going to be Caleb Johnson.
I don't think they will be. But Caleb scored 23 touchdowns or something this year? I mean, what if those two can each go for 7 apiece? What if we can run the ball for, I don't know how many yards. I should have checked how many rushing yards we had as a team. I think
we had 2,564.
Okay, so total yards for the season we had almost 4,300.
Yeah, about
almost 4,300. That's still not very good. It's not. You do the math on that, and
don't do it out loud.
I'm not going to, but I'm pretty sure it's less than 300 yards a game, and it's just not. It ain't great. Moulton has a high ceiling.
I think a lot of it's going to have to come down to like how much our wide receiver room develops too. So.
Absolutely. And I told people that, anybody, the Walkon store is up right now. I'll put the Army code back up there. Anybody who's in the Army, earlier this afternoon, we released our latest episode, which is 10 questions for the Iowa football offseason. One of those questions was, can we put the weapons around Gronowski and Lester to be a viable, consistent offense? And when we're talking weapons, I don't think we're really talking about Estringa and Ortworth. Like, the tight ends are good. The running backs are sufficient. It's the receivers. Like, can we have a receiving core that actually makes a defense concerned about anything? Right?
Yeah, respect it. That they're not just going to man up everybody, stack the box, and make it impossible for us to run because they don't respect our passing game. Yeah, we'll see, man. But I like what we got out of Lester out of year one for sure. A huge improvement.
I love what we got out of Lester.
I think things are going in the right direction, no doubt.
I think one of the underrated things is they saw what Caleb Johnson was capable of and decided, fuck it, we're leaning into that.
Yeah.
Because like they didn't try to force a passing offense. They basically said, okay, we can run the damn ball. We'll pass around that. And in year one, that was all he really needed. And they did great things. So I don't know. It'll be exciting to see. Obviously, there's a lot that has to happen from now and then. And a lot of people that need to stay healthy and continue to get better and all of these things. So let's see. Anything else exciting in the chat, or to wrap this bad boy up? Need to find the guy who is passing out all those fun coupons to the wrestling team. Get him to sponsor the episode. That's pretty much it. Grant and I, our big one right now is we're trying to get Rain. You ever had a Rain energy drink?
No.
Have you ever had any energy drinks? You don't strike me as an energy drink guy.
I've had some vodka Red Bulls in my time. I've had some Vegas bombs.
Okay, that's not quite.
That's about it.
Okay. Yeah, I was talking more like, have you just ever had like a pure Monster or a C4?
No, I've never. I don't think I've ever drinking just a Monster or a Red Bull just because I needed to pick me up or anything.
Yeah.
Like that. Never.
Yeah.
Like, pre-workout, none of it.
I hadn't either until when we were in Miami, and then we got free ones down there, and I was like a kid on crack, dude. I was like, oh my God, these are insane.
Yeah. So,
and it's probably because there's 300 milligrams of caffeine on them, but I thought they were just tasty too.
Yeah. And so for someone who doesn't take caffeine like at all, don't drink coffee, nothing. So back when the younger me was doing, Vegas bombs and vodka Red Bull, it's like, felt like my heart was going to explode.
Yeah, you couldn't have felt good.
No, it felt horrible.
That's got to be awful. I can't imagine when Kevin Ward, enjoys an adult beverage nowadays at 30 years old that it's a Vegas bomb. It's
no.
Probably more like a whiskey or a.
I enjoy a good bourbon. I enjoy good tequila. Yeah.
My drink of choice is a Cayman Jack sugar-free margarita.
What type of tea? Is that like a premix or is?
Yeah, it's just like a bottled, pre-made drink. No sugar though, or else I feel like shit. I feel like shit anyway. But,
yeah, I don't. Man, I will say I do enjoy a good old fashioned, which has a ton of sugar. But other than that, I don't do a whole lot of cocktails just because of, like you said, the sugar messes with you a little bit.
I mean, I drink once a year anyway, so even just talking about it is making me hot. I'm gonna start sweating. Appreciate you jumping in.
Yeah. Sorry for showing up late.
No, you're good. We had a fun time. Everybody here, it was fun. It was all good. We love it.
1,000 people, huh?
I guess. I don't know if that's concurrent or it says right now that there's 6 people watching on the Washed Up Walkons Facebook page and 1,239 people watching on X.
Oh, that's probably what it is. We're live streaming on X, huh?
Yeah.
That's where our reach is.
Creek Beef asked if the margarita comes with a pink umbrella. Man, if it did, I would sip that thing with the umbrella in it, and I would do it proudly. Do not care in the slightest. Thank you everybody for joining tonight. This is fun when we get to do this. Chat is lit up. Everybody comes in and hangs out. We get to be a little bit more free flowing. There was a topic, but we'll do that topic another time. And I'm gonna go eat some ice cream because it's Wednesday, which means it's ice cream night in the Kluber household. So I've got a peanut butter cup.
I thought Sunday was Culver's ice cream night.
Sunday's also ice cream night.
How many ice cream nights you got, man?
2 of them. There's two.
Okay.
My wife, who is 6 months pregnant, would vouch for more if I agreed. But with the other competitive exercise goals, you really have to cap it at 2, or you starts to hinder the training.
We got a Ninja Creamy now, so we make homemade ice cream every now and
No
then.
shit, you got a creamy?
You can throw some protein powder in there and just have some protein ice cream.
Oh, dude, look at they're coming after us with the Jenny's gooey butter cake. You know it, bro. Give me that brambleberry. Give me that Peanut butter with chocolate flecks. Oh.
All right. Well, before you ice cream in your pants, why don't you go ahead and
That's fantastic. For Kevin and myself, thank you guys for joining. We will you'll hear this on Monday. I'm going to throw this up just as something cuz I'm going to be gone this weekend. It's the Super Bowl. Who knows if anybody even tunes in on Monday morning. And then we should have guests. I'm really hoping we can get Brad, Pat, and who else was going to come on? Oh, Don Shump. We're going to get those 3 lined up here soon. We'll have them for your listening pleasure. Until then, see ya.